Howdy folks! How are y'all doing? My name is Reese, and welcome back to the Minecraft 2025 Let's Play Adventure, where today is a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Hello there, neighbor. But today is Tuesday, September the 16th, which of course means it is time for a project day. Tuesday is the day we set aside to work on big things and little things alike. Sometimes we're building components to a library. Sometimes we're doing other things. One thing I thought about doing today was overhauling this that we just built because I feel like it's a little bland. It's a little simple. We could make this entrance more grand, but we're not going to today because we just did this and I feel like we need to move on to something else. And speaking of things that we need to move on to, we left on our last project day our cleric down here alone, which is not good. It is not good for a cleric to be alone, and so we're going to be manufacturing some sort of building for the cleric and future clerics to live in, because we want to bring more clerics over here, zombify them, and have them live with the cleric, and give us discounts on whatever clerics trade. Currently, I think we just sell rotten flesh to that cleric, and honestly, the rates aren't that great. It's like 27 for a single emerald, but I figured if we're going to build something, I was like, you cleric, we could put him in like a temple or a church maybe, like a Christian church, a Jesus church, as they're called. No one calls them a Jesus church. I think that goes without saying, but I figured if we were going to build it, we should build it over here, and it should be near the library on this side of town, and it made sense to me that we would need some sort of a path connecting them, and part of me was like, okay, well, we need to work on the grand staircase to the library, and then from there we can work on the path, but it's like, I don't want to make a grand staircase today. That's the thing, I've sat down to record, I want to build something great, I want to build something grand. And it just made sense for me to at least start work on a church, even though I don't know what it's going to look like, but it's going to be easier at least to build than this, because we're starting with a better foundation in mind. First off, we don't need to build a giant pit full of candles to create this really neat effect here. That's going to look even better once I figure out what I need to install to get connected textures, and then the floor will just be one solid color. Comment down below and let me know, and if the answer is Optifine, I don't want your answer. I mean, let me know, but I'm not interested in installing Optifine. Thank you very much. But I think we just we do need to build it up. I like the idea of it also being on a little hill. Maybe even on the same hill, like maybe we extend this hill over, and I assume we're going to have it facing this direction, because eventually we're going to have little shops and things around here, with sort of a town square, but maybe not actually a square, but like a village center right here, with maybe a fountain and some trees, and some little kids, like little testificate kids running around and playing, and they're safe from harm, because all of the undead creatures in the ocean can't figure out how to get up here, except for sometimes they can, and I'm kind of confused on how their pathfinding works. It's going to be grand. It's going to be grand. And to make it all happen, let's say this slopes down, but not all the way down. So we're going to dig this out, and then we're going to backfill it with stone, because we have a lot of stone, and we will kind of build up, or sand. We can use, I think we use sand underneath all of this, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because we have an abundance of it, and we can get an infinite amount more very easily. So we cover all of this, and I mean, listen, I hear you. All right, yeah, I also see the irony in building a church on foundations of sand. Trust me, I too own and read a Bible. All right, I know the words of Christ well, but the thing you have to remember is that this is a video game. It's not real life. And in Minecraft, you're perfectly fine building your foundations on sand because, yes, sand is one of the few blocks that is affected by gravity, but the floor of the church is probably going to be wood or some kind of stone, so if all the sand falls out from under it, it's going to be fine. It can be left floating in the air, and you know what? Call it a miracle. You say the church was saved by the grace of God Almighty, and there you have it. That's what we're going to go with. So I'm going to dig all of this out, and then I'm going to build it up a couple of layers with sand, which, I mean, we should have a ton of sand. Remember, we brought back a couple of shulker boxes full of sand. So we should be good to go on that front. And then we're definitely going to be reusing all of this grass. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the handy dandy... Oh, stuff is full of stuff. All right, let's go empty stuff. And we'll get some sand, and I'll get all this filled in. All right, so this is taking longer than anticipated. I've only been recording for 23 minutes. And I don't know how long it's been since the last time I spoke. So I suppose it hasn't been like an impossibly long amount of time. But here's how we're doing on the hill. And obviously... You know, I like to, like, carve and shape these, and I'm not really pleased with that. That might need some adjustment, but right now, I don't know how big to make this hill until I decide how big the church is going to be, which means that I think we need to go ahead and build the base of the church and just have it kind of be floating up here over the top of all of this, and then we can kind of mold and shape and form the actual support structure up underneath it to match up to it, because I don't know how tall it's going to be. I also don't know what it's going to be made out of. I have no idea. I kind of thought that we would be using wood. Oh, that's not a door anymore. That's right. We filled that in. That's no longer a gaping hole in the side of the building. That's embarrassing. I forgot about that. Coming back into here, though. What are we going to build a church out of? And it needs to be something we haven't used yet, or at least something we haven't used a lot of. We could do a different material on the inside and a different material on the outside. So if we wanted to make the floor, for example, like a bright white calcite, or we could use a block of quartz. Have we used quartz for anything? Yeah, you know what? Weirdest of places. We used quartz inside of the barn. Maybe a weird choice. Maybe a very odd choice. It's also just not very fitting with, at least, the types of churches that I've gone to in my life. We're not building big Roman cathedrals. We're building like a good southern church, which means it's either going to have a concrete foundation, which we've never built with concrete before. We could... Well, no. No, we have in the basement of the library. But we could use concrete. I'm thinking carpet is probably going to end up getting used. Because there's a lot of carpet, there's a lot of rugs. We could use planks. Oh, I'm kind of torn here. How ornate versus simplistic do we want to be? How simple versus extravagant? I kind of want to use the quartz. I think I kind of want to do that. So I think we're going to get a bunch of our quartz here. We've been sitting on this quartz for a while with no real use for it. And today might be the day. If we have enough. Now, obviously, quartz does not condense down into as many quartz blocks as you would like, which is a shame, but we're only going to use it for the floor, and we'll have to pick a different material for sort of the outside brick. Oh, we can make chiseled quartz blocks. Oh, that's interesting that that's how you do that. I think I have a better way of doing that. If we want to at some point in the future, we can just toss it in there, which is nice. But we'll kind of start here. If we need more quartz... I guess we can go to the Nether. I kind of assumed we wouldn't actually be finished with this project today. I kind of had the feeling that this was going to be a lot like the library project, where I'm like, let's build a library. And then a month later, we have a library. Kind of feels like today. Very similar to the beginning of the library episode, where all we did was the floor. Now, granted, we did a whole, like, a light-up floor, and then we built the building. And then we built... Did we build... Yeah, we did the light-up floor, we did the building, and then we moved them all in. So it was a 3-week project. Today, we're going to build up a foundation, at the very least. And then, potentially next week, we'll actually finish the church. So, assuming we have stairs around the outside, because I'm thinking instead of setting this into the dirt, we're going to have it be elevated a tier above. That would probably actually be where the stairs go. So they would... That means that this would actually start inside of here. And at that point, where this is not going to be a very big building... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Already too big. Well, let's put that there then. Okay, there we go, 9. So that'll be the inside. It doesn't have to be terribly large. We're just going to stick a few clerics in there and have some seats for the... attendants? The church goers. I suppose it could be the situation where maybe you don't have large gatherings, but they do multiple Sunday services, right? So you don't just have like an early, like a first service, and then a second service, but maybe you also have a third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth service where you can just pack people in, you know, and throughout the course of the day. You know, you do what you got to do when you got to do it. You know what I'm saying? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Because isn't this 9 wide? Isn't that what we did? 4, 8, 9. Yeah, so we can have it be double the length. Do we want it to be an odd number or an even number? I feel like we want it to be an odd number. And in this case, I'm actually going to make it 1 block shorter. I kind of assumed it would be in line with the library, but the island does do a bit of a turn back here, right? Like, it folds in quite a bit. So even if we moved the entire structure back a ways, and there's room to move it back a ways, it's still going to be set further ahead than the library, and that's fine. And if you're wondering about orientation, my original design in my head was going to be a sort of classic Southern church, where you got the big steeple up front, and then sort of the bulk of the building in the back. But the way that it's shaping up, would it make more sense to have it be a side entrance? I don't know yet. I know nothing. And you're asking me questions that I can't possibly answer, because I don't know yet how this is going to shape up. But at least I'm starting to get an idea of how it needs to... You know what? We could make it wider. We could make it 2 blocks wider. We could use, like, a lot of symbology in it if we wanted to. Like, we could have it be 12 blocks wide to represent the 12 tribes of Israel. And then we could have it be 21 blocks long, because that's 7 3 times. 7 to represent the 7 days of creation. And then 7 times 3... because 3 represents the Trinity. But we're not going to, are we? No, we're not going to. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21, 11, 12. Yeah, maybe we are. Once the idea was in my head, once it was in there, I knew there was no going back. Actually, we can recycle all this dirt that's, like, directly under the marble. It can all be sand. Someone's probably going to be upset that I'm building a church in Minecraft. And I don't mean, like, a Reddit atheist. I mean, like, a Christian. Because if you don't know this, Christians will find the most absurdist things to be upset about. Not all of them. But there's, like, a certain sect of Christianity. It's not like a specific religion or a certain denomination. I just mean there's a certain type of Christian who just is constantly on the prowl for something to be irrationally angry and upset about, you know? If you're having a vacation Bible school for the kids and you announce it with a funny little skit, there's always some bitter old woman who's going to come up and be like, I don't think we should have had a funny little skit during church. It's not honorable to God. The Bible never says that Jesus smiled. I think laughter is of the devil. It'll be some nonsense like that. It's like, yeah. The Bible never says that Jesus laughed or smiled. It also never says that he ever, like, went to the restroom. So I guess he was just holding it for 33 years. Well, he started his ministry at 33. So, well, you know what I'm saying, though. Listen. An argument from a position of, what is it? Would you call it absence, exclusion? It's a terrible argument, and you're a dumb person. You shouldn't have a church in your Minecraft series. It's a funny series. It's not. It should be taken seriously. You're gonna go to hell. I got news for you, lady. I'm saved by the blood of Christ, same as you. We're going to be in heaven together. You best come to terms with it now. Because God doesn't care about my Minecraft church, and neither should you! It's the same type of people who get upset when there's, like, Christian rap music. Rap's not honoring to God. Everything should be hymns. This in the Bible. It's the same type of person who only reads the King James Version, because in their mind, they think that's the way Jesus spoke. And the concept that Jesus never once spoke Old English is foreign to their addled brain. Jesus said thee, thy, thou, and art, and so should you. No, I'm sorry to break it to you, but Jesus never said any of those things. Jesus spoke the local languages, Greek, Latin, Aramaic, Hebrew. He was... Did you hear a creeper? Is that my imagination? Yes, it was. Congratulations, little old ladies. You're spared my wrath because I thought I heard a creeper. Also, Jesus wasn't white. He didn't have blonde hair and blue eyes. This is more so for the Catholics. I've seen your Bibles. I've seen what's in. Listen, Jesus was a Jewish man living in Israel 2,000 years ago. He didn't look like Obi-Wan Kenobi, though that is one of my favorite memes. I think that's probably okay. Let your grandma think that Jesus. Let your grandma think that Ewan McGregor is the spitting image of Jesus. She's gonna die soon anyway. No, hopefully not soon, but you know what I'm saying. Like it's okay. It's okay. Let her think that Ewan McGregor's Jesus. It's all right. Bless the Lord, oh my soul. Oh my soul. Worship His holy name. Sing like never before. Oh, my soul. I'll worship your holy name. Boop, boop. Oh, darn it. Wait, did I just lose a dirt or did it not actually place? Also, that's sand, not dirt. Also, this is where it's going to be. I like it. All right, now we need to build up around the sides such that the sand goes up to there. Or no, not up to there, up to here, because this is where there's going to be stairs kind of leading into the foundations of the church. Okay, so there we go. Now, we just need to sort of feather everything, or, blend it in, add some dirt. Should be easy. I'm going to just do an incredibly basic pyramid shape with the sand to get an idea of kind of how it needs to be laid out. And then once that's done, I'll work on making it look nicer. Yeah, there you go. There's the pyramid. Now we've got to make it look good. Well, good's an exaggeration. We got to make it look acceptable. So I basically put like a little awkward brim around this thing in the sort of shape that I want the top to be, that I think probably looks okay. And now it's just a matter of going underneath and filling it in again. This side's done. This side's done. I'm feeling pretty good about it. Maybe trim this back one and this back two. And now that's looking really good. That's just this side, though. Now I gotta do the other two. Oh, and I guess... No, the back is done, too. I just kind of did the back as I went. Oh, heavens. Yeah, no, I should have anticipated this. I was losing track of how long we'd been at this. Hey, fellas. Oh, let's go. That was a 2 for 1. Does that not achieve? Is that really not? You get 2 phantoms with 1 sword swing? It was pretty good timing, actually, because I think I'm done with this thing. If I could fly, I mean, I guess I could hop on this guy. Oh, yeah, good timing. I was gonna say, if I could fly... So I put that there to kind of mark where the front center of the building will be, because we've got to have stairs, obviously. But as you can see here, we've got a little bit of a hill, and I think it looks pretty good. So this is going to end up being where the church is. And obviously, it's not perfect. More changes will need to be made. Things will need to be smoothed out. Need to sculpt the sides a bit more. Once we put down grass and flowers and things, it'll obviously look quite a bit better. Hey now! Hey now! What? Why are you down there? See, if you weren't in the water, we'd be getting somewhere, but you're in the water. Goodness me. I've got to deal with this guy, and I got to throw down some lights. Come here, you. Yeah. Yeah. Let's F8 this. Ooh, fate. Please no. Let's not. Did I... What? Is there just 2 of them? Where? Don't wander off too far. I think good as he stays kind of within the general area. Out of here you go. There we go. Okay. No more monsters, I don't believe. Should be spawning around here, which is good to see. Gonna kind of cut this out here. Probably a better way of keeping track where the stairs are going to be. And they're going to be 4 wide, just in case you were wondering. But this is it. This is the beginning of something. What's it ultimately going to end up looking like? I don't know. Is it going to come outside to a little garden path? Probably. I love that kind of where the front of it is where I said there was going to be like a little town square. It's like, no, well, no, never mind. No, there's not going to be now. No, that's okay. That's okay. We can still do stuff over here. We can have on the way to the library. Can y'all not? Can't you see that I'm in the middle of a presentation? Talking about the things that I built? I didn't even get any of them that time. We've been talking about having docks for the longest time. And maybe right out there would be a good place to have the docks built. And then you can have a road full of little shops and things leading to the library. Do we have a school? Who works at the school? Every shop needs to make sense with who lives there. There's gonna be clerics in the church. There's gonna be librarians in the library. You know, we'll have a smithy with a blacksmith at some point, probably. At least one of them. So who teaches the school? The map maker? That doesn't make any sense. There's a name for map makers as well. It's escaped my mind, but I do know what it is. I just can't quite remember what it is. A cartographer. That's what it is. George Washington was a cartographer before he was a general, which was before he was the President of the United States of America. President number 1. Oh, yeah. There we go. That's a fantastic thumbnail there. That really tells a story. It doesn't actually, though. It's actually just kind of confusing. Thank you, folks, for watching. God bless you. I'll see y'all tomorrow when we're going to go try to find another clever way to defeat the Ender Dragon. Comment down below. Make suggestions, because I got nothing. I genuinely have no plan. I'll see y'all then. Shout out to all of our channel members for their continued support, as well as our Patreon as supporters and our executive producers. Goodbye! Yeah. Perfect way to end it.